consciousness. At different levels or stages perceives different kinds of events. In order to perceive some of these, you have only to learn to change the focus of your attention from one level to another. There are minute chemical and electromagnetic alterations that accompany these stages of consciousness, and certain physical changes within the body itself in hormone production and pineal activity. This was a short excerpt from Chapter 17, The Eternal Validity of the Soul, Probabilities, the Nature of Good and Evil, and Religious Symbolism. That will be the next chapter we'll cover, but I wanted to give you a brief introduction or explanation of what Seth is referring to here as the pineal gland. The tiny pineal gland in your brain is like a special messenger that helps control when you sleep and when you wake up. It releases a substance called melatonin that helps with your daily rhythm. Scientists have found that there are small crystals in the pineal gland, like little pebbles. These crystals are super small, even smaller than a speck of dust. They act like tiny antennas, helping the pineal gland communicate using electricity. Imagine when you press on a rubber ball and it makes a spark of electricity. That's kind of what happens in the pineal gland. Now, let's break this down into two main points. The first point is about the special properties of these crystals and how they help the pineal gland work. The second point is how the pineal gland can pick up signals and change them into messages our brain can understand. First off, the crystals in the pineal gland are like little powerhouses. When you press on them or put stress on them, they create electricity. This is like when you rub your feet on the carpet and then touch something metal. You get a little zap. These crystals can also stretch and contract when electricity flows through them, kind of like how a rubber band can stretch and then go back to its original shape. Now imagine your body is like a radio and the pineal gland is the antenna. Just like a radio antenna picks up signals from the air to play music, the pineal gland picks up signals from a different kind of air, invisible electromagnetic fields. These signals have information in them, like different radio stations have different music. When the pineal gland picks up these signals, it needs to change them into something the brain can understand. That's where the second point comes in. The pineal gland is like a translator. It takes these signals and turns them into messages our brain can read. This process is called transduction. Think of a transducer like a magical translator. It takes a signal in one language and turns it into a signal in another language. So, the pineal gland is like a magical brain translator. It takes the invisible signals it picks up and turns them into something our brain can see, kind of like turning radio waves into pictures. Now, for all of this to happen, a few important things need to occur. First, the crystals in the pineal gland need to get active. You can imagine this like turning on a special switch. When we do certain breathing exercises, we're actually putting pressure on these crystals. It's like giving them a little nudge to wake up. When the crystals are active, they send signals to the brain to release special substances. These substances help us to relax and feel calm. They also do things like fighting off harmful stuff in our bodies. So, when these substances are released, our body feels good and our mind gets really clear. The crystals in the pineal gland can even change these substances into other cool things. Like turning a plain rock into a shiny gem, these substances can change into chemicals that make us feel really amazing. They can even help us experience things that are beyond what we normally see and feel. So, the pineal gland is like a tiny superhero in our brain. It picks up signals and changes them into messages to make us feel calm, awake, and sometimes even like we're in a dream world. All of this happens because of those tiny crystals in our brain, the magical messengers that help us understand the hidden signals around us. I'd like to thank subscriber Marcella for this question about the pineal gland. It was a perfect intro to the next chapter we'll be covering. Chapter 17, The Eternal Validity of the Soul, Probabilities, the Nature of Good and Evil, and Religious Symbolism. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a share, a like, and of course subscribing for more. What did you think about this basic explanation of the wonders of the pineal gland? Leave it in the comments below. And until the next time, thank you for listening.